Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And I am here today because my Hollywood spies have unearthed some allegations regarding what Kevin Feige actually wanted to do in Avengers Endgame, and I can tell you, it's mind-blowingly awful. I mean, I've heard some terrible ideas in my day, Star Trek Discovery being most of them, but the details of this particular rumor are particularly stunning because, as you will see by the end of this video, if Feige had his way, the legacy characters of the MCU would have been cast aside like garbage, humiliated and destroyed, in order to boost Captain Marvel and her MCU cohorts and to ram them down our throats. When you hear the terrible details, folks, you'll understand what I'm talking about, but I have to tell you, I was horrified.
You know, a lot of people felt like Avengers Endgame cheated with that whole alternate timeline, time travel story. And while I liked it at first, as time has gone on, it feels more disjointed to me. Like somehow it doesn't all quite mesh together.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Harvey Cthulhu. I really liked Endgame at the time, but as far as the disjointed quality goes, it's precisely because of what Feige tried to do with the film, and the patchwork and revisions that it took to undo the damage that Feige almost inflicted. I've always said that my rumor videos are like the proverbial canary in a coal mine. It's important for fans to have some heads up on bad things that may be coming their way. At the very least, it saves them the $12 for a ticket, but at the higher end of the spectrum, these heads up videos may prevent someone from seeing something that they can never unsee. This is particularly important in this insane era, where corporations are more interested in indoctrinating audiences rather than in entertaining them. It seems that a lot of times, these companies do terrible things to the legacy characters of these franchises, either killing them outright or humiliating and degrading them in order to repudiate the past. These people view Western civilization as an irredeemably evil construct responsible for most of the evil in the world. Pop culture is part of that larger civilization, and thus they believe that pop culture must be deconstructed as part of the larger aim of deconstructing Western civilization. And all of us, being fans of pop culture, are also part of the problem in their eyes, because in our aesthetic appreciation of Star Trek and Star Wars and Doctor Who and so on, we are perpetuating the values and ideals of Western civilization, and therefore we must be punished, demoralized, and repelled away from loving these franchises. Essentially, they want to wreck Western civilization because ists and phobes and so on, yada yada yada, all lies, but whatever. So they are wrecking pop culture one franchise at a time, hoping to consign you and your civilization to the dustbin of history, to be replaced with a hive-mind woke wonderland of conformity, orthodoxy, and political correctness to the nth degree. And I'm sorry to tell you that if the information I'm about to share with you is correct, Kevin Feige is part of this woke movement, and with Avengers Endgame, Feige, it is claimed, did his damnedest to destroy the MCU, not like Thanos, but like Kurtzman and Kathleen Kennedy and Jar Jar Abrams.
Man, I used to think that Feige was on our side, you know, as fans. The MCU was an amazing achievement, and it all came together so beautifully at the end. I thought Feige was one of us, Google Gobble. What you're saying, he's gone woke?
Oh yes, Harvey Cthulhu. Kevin Feige has gone over to the dark side of the farce. That much is clear from the upcoming slate of Phase 4 movies that are poised to turn the MCU into the MCU. But what wasn't clear, until I got this report from my Hollywood spies, is just how overboard, how quickly and how utterly Feige was allegedly prepared to shit all over the original characters, to absolutely ruin them in Avengers Endgame, to advance the woke cause. At this point, I must tell you that what I'm about to share with you is information provided to me from sources claiming to have knowledge of the situation inside Marvel and Disney, but since I cannot personally verify any of this information, I must present this as unverified rumor and ask you to please take this with a grain of salt.
Lay it on me, dude. I mean, how bad could it be?
Plenty bad, Harvey. Metaphysically bad. Remember, Avengers Endgame was going to be the last hurrah for all of these legacy characters. The movie was going to be our last chance to see a lot of them. It was their victory lap, in a sense, the culmination of over 20 films over the span of a decade. So the way these characters were treated would essentially dictate how we would remember that body of work. And I am told that Feige did his level best to ruin the whole damn thing. Here's what I was told. My friends, this information comes from two separate sources. The first source alerted us to this quite a while ago, but my Hollywood spies simply did not believe this individual, and so they sat on it. But then one of our best sources recently not only confirmed this story, but added details of how Kevin Feige wanted to kill off the Avengers.
Oh shit, this is gonna be good. And by good, I mean bad.
So we all know that Black Widow was killed. That much Feige was able to get through. Apparently, being a strong woman wasn't good enough for her to continue. She couldn't continue because she's an actual likable character, a fan favorite. And since fans are perpetuating the corrupt evil of Western civilization, and since Black Widow would have made Brie Larson's Captain Marvel look like an irrelevant second banana, Black Widow had to go. The Hulk was also set to die, which is why he's not really featured prominently at the end of the movie. He wasn't supposed to be around anymore.
You talk about degrading legacy characters, and boy, they sure did that, didn't they? Where the poor Hulk is concerned. In Infinity War, Hulk actually ran away and hid. That is like Captain Kirk turning down hot green alien girl action. It's just not in his nature. The Hulk ran away from an ass whooping? Impossible! And then, in Endgame, the character of the Hulk was also degraded by turning him into a calm, reasonable scientist like Weakling Banner. No more rampaging for you, Hulk! So really, throughout both Infinity War and Endgame, Hulk was completely subverted. So much for the Hulk.
And it gets worse, Harvey. Feige allegedly wanted to give the short end of the stick to Thor in Endgame, literally. As Thor was to die in Endgame, he would have been run clean through and left to die on the battlefield like a skewered catfish. And Captain America? Oh, Feige, I am told, wanted something special for Captain America. After all, in all of the MCU, is there any character that more perfectly epitomizes Western civilization than Captain America? Is there any better symbolic way to punish Western civilization for its alleged abuses and excesses than to humiliate Captain America? My sources tell me that Feige wanted Captain America to literally be beaten to death.
Fucking hell, dude! Fucking hell! Just literally physically beaten until he croaked on camera?
That is what I'm told. I'm sure most SJWs would love to see that. See the symbol of America and Western civilization pummeled into submission and ultimate defeat. Yeah, Avengers Endgame was going to be a real feel-good movie, folks, if these rumors are true. And of course, as we know, Tony Stark did die, but at least it was a heroic sacrifice that was somewhat in line with the plot. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way, to quote Johnny Cash. Oddly enough, in this scenario, the only one of the old team to walk away alive was Hawkeye, and that presumably only so that his daughter could take his place in the MCU Phase 4. Yeah, like archery's skill is hereditary. But other than toppling another pillar of Western civilization, what was Feige's alleged objective in all this? Well, here's where it really sucks, folks. Captain Marvel was supposed to pick up Cap's shield and become the de facto leader of the Avengers. Remember that shot at the end where it's an all-female force assembled? Fortunately, it was only one shot, not the entire final reel of the film, which is what I'm told Feige intended. The all-girl power at the end, a team of the bestest of ours, was supposed to beat Thanos. That's right, it was going to be just the ladies taking Thanos out, succeeding where all the men had failed. Where Cap had been beaten to death, Thor run through, the Hulk snapped away, Captain Marvel was going to save the day. It's Ray all over again, multiplied 10 times worse than Ray. All the male characters defeated, degraded, and disposed of, then the women come and defeat the last man standing, Thanos.
So what the hell happened, dude? What prevented Feige from pulling this off?
We have the Russo brothers to thank for preventing this disaster, according to my sources. The Russo brothers absolutely rebelled against this repulsive ending, and they threatened to walk off the film. This would have been not only a PR disaster, but a practical one that would have delayed the film and possibly damaged it beyond repair. In the end, the Russo brothers won this fight, I am told, with the help of Bob Chapek and key investors who sided with Chapek and the Russos before this plan could be implemented. So there you go, folks. A tale of disaster narrowly averted, and a warning. If this is the mindset at the helm of the MCU now, how bad will Phase 4 ultimately get? That remains to be seen. At least my earlier rumors pointing out how Disney was not happy with Brie Larson have been verified, and hashtag Doomcock was right, that they were looking for ways to minimize Brie Larson's role moving forward. Hence, instead of Captain Marvel 2, we have The Marvels, where a number of other characters will be sharing the spotlight with Captain Marvel and diluting her, quote, charm, unquote. Basically limiting the damage she does to the MCU in this film. But as for the future of the MCU, only time will tell. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha